Hope you're having a great, fantastic day so far today. Already Monday, the 7th of March. Season is basically already here. Man, it's around the corner. I know a lot of people say that the sun is shining, but the snow is still canvassed all up in the north. But we know how fast that melts. You're only 3.5, 4, 5 weeks away, and all of a sudden everything starts to happen magically. You start to have the phones ringing. You start to have the website visitors coming in, your social media, things start to really pick up. Mr. Hawk, what's up? Nice to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments that you might have. This is the Ask Me Anything. We're going to do this on the first Monday of every month, and Ask Me Anything. And of course, we have the AK Roundtable every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the AMA first Monday of every month, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Ask Me Anythings were really set up so that you could come on here and ask any questions that you might have. I've been in the industry for over almost 22 years now, and certainly have a lot of experience working with people, getting their business started and getting people on a track to success. Michael, Patrick, how you doing, man? Appreciate you hopping on here. So there's obviously a few things that are going on right now as it relates to prepping for season. You've got to make sure that all your social media profiles are all set up and tuned. You want to make sure that you have your website really kind of in a position where it's optimized and driving leads in from local search relating to your local area where you're wanting to drive leads from. So if somebody's searching for, let's say, asphalt Sealcoating, Cincinnati, well, of course, you want to try and make sure you're optimized for that. You want to make sure you have your Google My Business set up, just kind of making sure that your digital footprint is completely set up right now. It's definitely the time to do that. And so once you've taken care of those housekeeping items, you want to make sure that your branding's on point. You want to make sure that you have your shirts, your caps, and make sure that you have your magnets or your decals on your trucks and your equipment. You want to also make sure that you have all your handouts, so your door hangers. You want to make sure that you have your proposals and your estimates that are in on a pad that you're cutting out to people, or if you're sending them digitally, you want to make sure to have proposal templates. At AK, in our resource section, in our Asphalt Kingdom resource section, which will be posted in the comments, you'll be able to see the links in there. You'll be able to certainly go and check out the proposal template that we've drafted for you, where it's a fill in the blank type setting, and you can add your logo and things like that. It's definitely got millions of dollars worth of proposals through that template, so you definitely want to use something that's going to allow you to present yourself professionally. In addition, you want to make sure that you're most efficient with your time. Make sure that you have your map and measure tool where you're able to put your mapping around the actual parking lots that you're doing, measure out those parking lots, and make sure that you understand what the square footages are so that you're quoting appropriately. We do have a question that's come in from Mark Alcalay. What is the traffic paint update in Los Angeles, California? I still can't get any info from Sherwin-Williams. I just got an update today from Sherwin-Williams that they're not going to be producing any oil-based paint this year. And we actually have Sherwin-Williams knocking at our door to buy paint from us right now, up in Grand Rapids, actually. And so you're going to have a very big challenge getting traffic paint if you're looking for oil-based paint, any alkyd paint. It's going to be very, very challenging for you. We do have paint. We're looking right now, if you look at our paint prices on our website, they are high. They are high, and it's not because we're fattening our margin. It's because we've had to source paint with a company up in Canada that we've been able to secure a relationship with. And those pallets need to ship down from Canada down to the United States. And so if you actually look at the shipping amounts to move that stuff, it's very expensive today. My recommendation would be to buy as much paint as you can from us, but first get a quote. So if you want to send our team a quote request, you can certainly do that. You just go to the contact us page on asphaltkingdom.com. That link will also be in the comments, and you can reach out for a quote on paint. We need to know the color. We need to know the type of paint that you're looking for, waterborne or alkyd, oil-based paint, and ideally the number of pallets that you're looking for. That's generally how you're going to submit the information. And then once we get the information in, we can go ahead and get a custom shipping quote for you. But yeah, the more paint that you buy, the better, just because shipping is expensive if you're doing like a half pallet or, 7-8 pails of paint, for example. But Sherwin-Williams is not looking pretty for oil-based paint, straight up, Mark. Hope that helps answer the question. In regards to shortages, let me kind of dig in on this stuff. So coal tar emulsion, I don't know if you're aware of this, coal tar emulsion, we are probably going to experience shortages in the middle of the season. That's something that's going to probably come. The aluminum industry right now is definitely demanding a lot of the coal tar raw materials. Coal tar emulsion, to give you an idea, from our supplier, who we ship millions of gallons annually, the actual drums themselves, drums of sealer, have gone up from a cost perspective. We did not raise our retail this high, but we've slimmed down our margin, but our cost has actually increased almost 60% on coal tar sealer drums and totes. So right now, you really want to make sure that anything that you're working on right now from an estimate and a proposal perspective, you really, really need to make sure that you're putting it as a time-sensitive estimate, because you're going to end up in a situation, if not, where your costs on materials are going to be higher than what you had anticipated, and your margins are slimmed down. So you should also, put a side note in your proposals saying that there's a provision there saying, in the case that pricing or costs pricing is dramatically impacted by material costs, then we have the right to reserve a change of quote. In regards to the Canadian producer, we're actually manufacturing it through a plant, so we've got an exclusive relationship with the company, and it's out of Quebec that we're operating with, and they're fantastic. They've done an incredible job with us. I've been working day in, day out with them. And last year we established a relationship in the middle of the summer when shortages were everywhere. And fortunately, we were able to get paint out to a lot of people who had projects that were already booked. But to give you an idea, dozens and dozens of truckloads shipped at the end of last season. And this year, we've already got a lot of pre-orders coming in right now. We've got today there was 1,000 gallons of white oil-based, and then 1,000 gallons of yellow oil-based that was placed by a Sherwin-Williams, just as a side note. Michael, Patrick, due to the price increases of materials, what should businesses, owners be charging per square foot? Yeah, it's a great question, man. It really depends on what your material costs are. It really depends on what your material costs are. So as it relates to the price per square foot that you're going to be charging, it's hard for me to give you the exact number, but you definitely want to understand what your cost is per square foot for your application, whether you're doing a 1-coat or a 2-coat application, what your cut rates are on your sealer. But, you're definitely going to want to be raising your pricing per square foot from last year. Definitely up around 20 to 25% is what I'd recommend, based upon the cost. So really depends on the cost of your cost directly on your sealer and crack sealer. But definitely coal tar emulsion was the highest impacted from a price increase perspective. Asphalt emulsion was not nearly as impacted as coal tar emulsion. Crack sealer too has gone up significantly. We're up like 18% on our costs from Craftco. So we sell and distribute Deary Super Stretch all over North America, and we're up significantly on our cost. And that's, it's not just the cost, it's also freight, right? So you need to understand, on Asphalt Kingdom, a lot of our pricing, most of it's actually it's free shipping. It's shipping included, free shipping. That particular model right there is a model that's getting hurt really bad with freight. So we're doing our best to not move pricing, too much. But the reality of it is, we need to make money in our business to keep a healthy business, just like you all need to make money with your businesses. And so we take our cost pricing and we multiply that by the percentage of markup that makes sense for the company to keep it healthy. And we keep it that way. I suggest you do the same, Michael, with your cost of goods. If you want to make 50%, take what your cost is per square foot and multiply that by your 1.50. in our business. We're not making 50%, but in the Sealcoat world, when you're going out to do your applications, you definitely can go out and make 50% plus on any kind of job applications that you're doing. We have a question from Les Hawk. Would you be able to buy paint through Action Seal? So just a heads up, Action Seal is now Asphalt Kingdom. We merged the brands just because there was a lot of confusion between the two, between Action Seal and AK. We decided to just move it into one brand, which is Asphalt Kingdom, which is now globally recognized. So you'll be able to shop through Asphalt Kingdom. Just make sure you select the flag that's right for you based upon where you're located, and you'll be able to shop in the currency that's specific to your country and what you're wanting to shop with. If you want to shop in the US, you can definitely do that, or shop in Canada, you can do that too. Just select the flag up at the top. But yeah, you can buy paint. Definitely, we'll have paint for Canada and for the Canadian market as well as the American market. Absolutely, we will. There's a question in from Jeff Fox. That is, what is the best way to measure a lot that isn't perfect, i.e. gas station with concrete at the pumps, and make the layout irregular? That's a great question. And what I usually do is, when I'm dealing with irregular shaped parking lots or roads, what I do is I break it down into sections. And so on our map and measure tool, you can do a lot of that virtually from the comfort of your own home, or from your truck, on your tablet, or on your phone. And you can break that down into sections. So you might do the top left and measure that, and then move on to the top right, and then down in the odd shaped sections, and add them all together to get the total square footage. The other option is that you could actually go to the property and just wheel it off, and just make sure you have a map that's printed out of the property, and you can just section that off, do the measurements, and ultimately add them all together to get your total square footage. So it's 100 square feet, 100 square feet, 100 square feet, and 100 square feet. You have 400 square feet, right? So that's kind of the thinking there, and hopefully that helps, Jeff. Any other questions? Chris Filippelli, welcome, my bro. Thanks for being on with us, man. Really appreciate it. Measurement Pro will allow you to measure one entire area and then cancel out the other areas. When you cancel them out, they will subtract from the total. Yeah, that's a really cool tool, actually. That's a really good note too for my team to take in being able to excel our current surface area measurement tool. I like that, Chris. That's great advice. That'd be great to send along to Amy. Yeah, I love that. If you can actually, you rather than just kind of backing up and deleting dots, you can actually delete different sections and it subtracts from the total. That's an awesome tip, Chris. Thank you so much. Okay, let's look at any other questions popping in here. Tim Smith, what's up, brother? Appreciate you being here, man. That's awesome. Tim, I'm hoping your season's going to be off to an incredible start. I'd love to hear how things are looking for you coming forward here. Thank you, bros. Sealcoating, thank you for being here. Just getting our live. How can we access the map tool? We're going to go ahead and put the map tool right in there, so you can go ahead and click that link right there. It's in the actual comments. Just go ahead and click it. You can sign up for the map tool there. It's totally free. And we also have the proposal template. We've got all kinds of good stuff, man. We've got a cold calling script. We've got all kinds of cool stuff in our resources section. And if you can pop this in, team, if you could pop this into the comments too, the pivot now to thrive. Everybody on here right now, I'm telling you, it is so worth reading this thing. I wrote it probably a couple of years ago with our team, and it is so applicable to what it is that we're doing. It's numbers, it's about goal setting, it's about making sure that you're pivoting your business to go in a direction of growth and scaling. That link is dropped in right there on YouTube and on Facebook. Everybody that's on here, click on that link, because there's great stuff in there, and there's a free cold calling script in there as well with rebuttals and everything else that we drafted. So check it out. It's all free. You have to click on that link. No catches. It's nothing but great content, and it hopefully gives you a better perspective on certain things that are going on this season. By the way, huge shout out to Greg Francis. seal coating his life. I know that you may know him. His YouTube channel, he's got like, I don't know, 35 million views or something now. And yeah, he gave me some swag. I'm pretty stoked about it. Yeah, and we've got something really cool coming. We just filmed a driveway seal coating kickstart course. It's 10 parts and it is sick. It's an awesome course that for anybody that's looking to start their own seal coating business with a very minimal amount of money, with literally seal coat brushes and buckets, and really go out there and do a really fine, nice job. This course goes through all the ins and outs of it. We have the marketing piece of that. We've got the sales. So marketing is the face of the business. The sales is the voice of the business, and really spent a lot of time doing it properly and making sure that people starting in the industry with buckets and brushes are doing this thing right. So we're excited about that. If you haven't subscribed to Greg Francis's channel over at YouTube, on YouTube, you definitely want to subscribe to it. His content is just next level. He's a great guy. So yeah, click that link, how to pivot to thrive, how to really succeed this season. That's something that's going to be really important and valuable. Keep posting those questions in the comments. This is an Ask Me Anything, so the only silly question is the one unasked. I really love to just ask as many questions. I love, asking questions personally. If you have questions, I love to ask them as well, and that hopefully is helpful to you. Mark Castiglia, what's up, my man? Nice to see you on here, bro. Appreciate it. I know that we spoke recently, and we have to catch up again for sure. I'm excited for this season. It's going to be a really good one. Rose seal coating. All right. Yeah. Robert, what's up, man? Nice to be chatting with you. I really am excited for you to get going too, man. It's going to be a badass year. It's going to be really good, team. Like, I'll tell you right now, I would like, some of my best advice to you right now is the face of your business, which is your marketing. Make sure that your marketing, the face of your business, is doing a really good job to attract people to your business. And so, we ask, why do we market, right? We market because we want to generate leads, right? But we also want to convert those leads into customers. And we also want to make sure that we're nurturing those leads so that those customers, so that they actually become lifelong customers and hopefully evangelists for your business that, preach about you and word of mouth and brag. So again, you want to make sure that you're generating leads. You want to make sure you're converting those leads into customers, and you want to make sure that you're nurturing those customers to be lifelong customers. So think about your marketing pieces that you have right now. I don't care if it's on your website or if it's on social media, on your LinkedIn profile, your Instagram, wherever it is, on your brochures, your handouts, on your proposals, on your emails to your customers. Really ask yourself, does your marketing cater to generating leads, nurturing your customers and making sure your leads, converting them into a customer, and then making sure you're nurturing them to be lifelong customers? Really determine whether or not your marketing is doing that. And then for the voice of your business, when you're doing sales stuff, really my question would be to you, well, let me ask you this. Do you think that sports teams practice almost every single day if they want to be world champions? Just ask yourself that question, right? So I ask you, how often do you practice doing what it is that's really important for your business? Not just being in the business, but like actually working on the business. Like, what are you doing right now to really make sure that the voice of your business is projected the way that you want it to align with the face of your business, which is the marketing? So are you doing any role practicing, or some people say role playing? Are you doing that with your team members in your company? Are you doing that with your friends if you don't have any team members in your company and you're just a one-man show right now? Are you practicing those sales-driven tactics that are going to allow you to become world-class at it right now, right? So really think about that. Practicing that kind of stuff is so important. Like, I'll tell you, every single day, our company, we have a sales jam every single morning at 7:45 a.m. till 8 a.m. sales jam. We talk about things, and sometimes we role play, practice, and we really rock and roll. And practicing is key to making sure that the day is getting kick-started, right? And so if you don't have anybody to role play with and you're wanting somebody to role play with, I strongly urge you to ask a friend, ask a family member, or heck, maybe we'll set up a webinar where we can do some role playing and we can interact and engage with people. Actually, you know what? Our AK Roundtable on Wednesday at 7 p.m. has a bunch of winners on there. Like we've got all kinds of people on there. People who are just starting out in the business, people who might be in the business for a year, 2 years, and then we have some people who have been in the business for 8, 9, 10 years. And the cool thing is everybody comes in and literally shares information. We interact and engage on Zoom. I'm getting a little bit better at moderating that stuff, but like moderating the actual communication so there's no dog barking in the background and so on. But my point is that everybody's together in one place and truly jamming for the best interest in growing their business and sharing. And it's a real cool pay it forward area. So I strongly recommend that if you do have some challenges relating to role playing or not practicing enough, sign into that AK Roundtable. The link is also down in the comments. It's completely free. I do it every Wednesday, 7 p.m. And it's super valuable, I think. A lot of people actually say that it's something they look forward to every single week that join in. So I'm stoked to do that with you. And you can ask any question in there too. You can be live and everybody should be on camera. Yeah, I remember you being there. That was awesome, man. Thank you for being there. That's great. And yeah, so that's the scoop on the AK Roundtable. Now, as for your season upcoming, I really would strongly recommend that in areas if you're still under snow or you're not in a rush to get started, I strongly urge you to start to put the procrastination bag to the side, like start taking it and pushing it aside because it's almost here. It really is. So your marketing right now is crucial. Your sales practicing is crucial. Making sure you have all the tools, your surface area measurement tools, make sure you have your proposal templates, make sure that you have your right marketing material, make sure your trucks and your equipment are tuned up. Make sure that you have new spark plugs in your equipment. Make sure that you have fresh fuel in it. Dump the fuel, put new fuel in. Make sure that your hoses are all cleaned and make sure that your tank is cleaned. Make sure that everything is ready to roll. All right, keep popping questions in for the Ask Me Anything session that we're on right here. If you guys have questions, pop them in. And if you don't have questions, then we will continue to boogie on here. By the way, that contractor cold calling script that is on the Pivot Now to Thrive, that link, I'm telling you, that cold call script's pretty awesome. So check out that link. Go over there and check it out. It has the proper introduction aspect of it. So hello, my name is from this company. I'm calling today to talk to you about how our company can help reduce the time, costs, and frustrations associated with handling your asphalt maintenance projects. Did I catch you at a halfway decent time? That's like part one. Part two is like handle initial objections. Formula to overcoming the objection. 1, acknowledge their objection. Absolutely, I completely understand. 2, reply, this is my first time calling you. In fact, this is a cold call. 3, transition, ask another question. Like literally, guys, we've got this all nailed down, even to the points people saying I'm not interested. It goes down into I'm too busy. Now is not a good time. I'm already happy. Send me an email. It's got all the objections in here. So no budget for this. Hey, John, I completely understand. The truth is most of the companies like yours I've called don't have a budget either. It's exactly why I'm calling you. What we find is that when companies don't have any budget left, they start working on other things and never really solve the root problem that led to them not having any budget left. Our company has developed our entire business approach around solving that exact problem. Always ask questions after an objection to keep the conversation going. So I would strongly recommend going to check that out. That's hopefully helpful. That'll be helpful. Tim, all right, Judd, do you think it's better to bang for the buck to do Facebook ads or Google ads? It's a great question. Really good question, Tim. Both. Do both, man. I mean, do both. It's so inexpensive to run Facebook ads and Google ads, and you know what? If you don't know how to run the Google ads or the Facebook ads, it is so easy to go to YouTube and literally type in how to run a Facebook ad, and you can target your demographics, right? Like for Facebook ads, for example, You'd want to make sure that you have a compelling ad, like a video ad, like, hey, I'm Judd with Asphalt Kingdom. I'm standing here on a parking lot. Love the opportunity to be able to make your parking lot safe and make it more, prolong its life, as well as making it look better. Love to give you a free estimate. Go ahead and, send us a message right there below. And then you would hit demographics, like you'd choose age group, between 25 and 70, and you would choose a geo-targeted area for 50 miles, from where you want it set, or 100 miles, whatever it is. And then interests, you would select, like, home gardening, home maintenance, property management, that kind of stuff relating to home, property maintenance. And then you could literally run an ad that had $25 attached to it and see what kind of results you get from that. With Google Ads, man, same thing. I wouldn't go after keywords in Google Ad. Like, if you're setting up Google Ads, I definitely wouldn't do it like based upon asphalt, a very general, very competitive word. You're going to pay a lot for every click or every call. You want to do it based upon a long-tailed keyword. So it might be like asphalt crack sealing for your parking lot, or it might be bidding on something like parking lot crack sealing and repair. It might be parking lot seal coating, Ohio. And you tie in your different keywords that are long tail, just being very general with that. But hopefully that gives you a little bit of input. I would 100% do both, Tim. Yeah. Joshua, recommended advertisement for those of us who are just starting out: door hangers, lawn signs, posters for pre-booking for summer. Mr. Joshua Chapman, you are absolutely right, man. And I know your brother knows a lot about this, Adam Chapman, and straight up, I would do all of it, man. I would literally do all of it. I'd pay somebody to go and hang all that stuff and do it, or do it yourself. And I would also not hesitate to speak with people. You might see somebody outside in the yard or something. Hey, what's up? Joshua here, and chat with them. I would also run your Google ads and your Facebook ads. I do all of the above, man. But the more tentacles that you have out, the more leads you're going to generate. You'll generate more leads than you'll know what to do with if you do Google ads, Facebook ads, and you do that kind of, on the street, rocking and rolling. Definitely. You're welcome, Tim. Mr. Johnson. Hi, Viking Striping Barbados. I have a question for you guys in the US and Canada. Experience any problems with tire pickup and smudging over time with your road marking paint, or do you pre-wash prep? It's a good question. It really depends on the material that you're using. I'll give you an example. Like, somebody who's spraying coal tar emulsion sealer, it usually has like a 21, depends, but like 21 days to cure. And so, tires will move on that surface and the sealer will still move. It'll still be dry to the touch and you can walk on it. And when you touch it, it's not on your hands, not wet, but it's still not cured solid like asphalt. You know what I mean? So when you put paint down on top of that, generally you'll have that paint move as well if it's not cured, if tires are on it. If you're putting down like an oil-based paint, for example, in temperatures where it's really, let's say, humid, really humid and overcast, you're going to have smudging on your paint for sure. As for prep and wash, yeah, I think that you should prep all parking lots or any surfaces that you're going to paint or seal coat prior to. I personally don't pressure wash parking lots. It's extremely time consuming, and as long as you have wire brooms and you have good blowers and you have sweepers like rotary brooms like we carry at Asphalt Kingdom. We have a bend sink rotary broom, which gets incredible feedback. Some of you may know Lance Phillips from Precision. He is using the rotary broom to clean all around the sides of parking lots and everything. So he has proper adhesion of whether it's sealer or paint. Hopefully that helps a bit. And anybody else jump in and feel free to respond, somebody who has a lot of striping knowledge. Terry, let me just go to Terry here. Terry, thanks for the question. Hi, Judd. Is Asphalt Kingdom Canada going to have seal coating tools available like edging brushes, crack wire brooms, squeegees, etc.? Yeah, we're really working on making sure that Canada and the United States is completely stocked. And we're right now we're working extremely hard around the clock right now at our company to make sure that we're getting inventory in and making sure that this season's supported. So Yes, we are working really hard on making that happen. Definitely. We just put in a purchase order today for crack cleaning machines because our supplier has been challenged with being able to fulfill orders one at a time, and so we put in a very large PO, and we're in the middle of looking for fulfillment centers throughout the United States to stock inventory and fulfill countrywide versus having just a few locations. We're looking at setting up really national distribution, and so that's coming soon. Hopefully that helps. Yes, stay tuned and definitely keep in touch. Call us up and we'll always do our very best, and if we don't have it on the spot, then we can give you a date range, hopefully that helps you, but we're working on it really hard to make that happen. Mark Alcalay, thanks. What is the minimum 5-gallon Waterborne paint you have to buy for Quebec, BC, and is there any issues with trucking it from Canada? We actually have it all in Canada. The paint's in Canada right now. So we do have paint in Canada right now. So we can ship waterborne or oil-based paint anywhere anywhere in the world, anywhere in North America for sure. And if you're looking for custom pricing that's one of the things I want to mention to everybody on here is if you're planning on buying in bulk, like multiple pallets, I don't care if it's sealer, crack sealer, paint, anything. If you're looking at buying in bulk, shoot us a message through our contact form on the website or call us up and tell us what you're looking for so we can get custom quotes for you, right? Because a lot of the pricing on the site is free shipping. Of course, shipping is built in somewhere, it has to be. But the reality of it is it's based upon an average. And so if you're looking at bigger buys, 3 pallets, 4 pallets or whatever, then make sure that you reach out to us and we'll always make sure that we're getting a custom quote for you. Generally, the West Coast has been a bigger challenge to be able to get great freight rates for, but we are certainly organizing fulfillment solutions for the West Coast. I can't say a whole lot about it, but we're working on it. And for people in Canada, by the way, we've just secured all the prairies with locations. We're basically going to have one big terminal in Calgary, and then we offload in 24 hours. We can get sealer, crack filler, gator patch, any kind of materials distributed to other locations like Red Deer, Saskatoon, Regina. I mean, we're setting up, all the prairies are going to be set up for distribution this season. And we're also going to have Dieppe, New Brunswick with sealer and crack sealer. We're going to have Drummondville, Quebec as well set up. So Canada's looking really good this year. We're working hard on making that all happen. Les, you have another question here. I'm setting up an Excel. Here we go. Sorry, here we go. Les, before I get onto this, I have one from Christopher Filippelli. Trailer unit or skid unit for parking lots and why? It's a great question, Chris. It's really up to the size, up to you and the size of the unit. So are you using a 300 gallon or using a 550, a 700 or 1,000 gallon rig? I personally, if I'm doing commercial work, if I'm doing parking lots, I personally like to have a big trailer. That's what I like to have. And it's detachable. You can store it afterwards. And the truck, frankly, you can have a smaller rig even on your truck, right? You can have a 300 gallon backup rig on your truck and you'd still have ample space depending on the size of the truck. If it's like an F350 flatbed, then you could throw a 300 gallon rig or a 550 on that thing. And then you could also have a stationary kettle, a 30 gallon kettle on there. You could have your blowers go into side compartments. You can really set up a truck really, really well. But if you're going into a big rig, like I'm saying 550s, 700s or 1000s, I'd go trailer, man, straight up. Actually, Kevin Gray from ABC Paving, big shout out to him. He's in Louisville, Kentucky. He has one of our 550 Royal Edition AK rigs decked out, and he has it on a trailer, and they say they love it. So, yeah, you agree too with that? That's cool. Thanks, Les Hawk. I'm setting up an Excel file for my new business where I'll keep a list of contacts, sales, expenses, and tax-related formulas and summaries. Are there any other items that are good to keep track of? Yeah, man, I would keep all your costs in there too, right? What are your costs and details, and relating to your margins as well. Make sure that you're tracking all of your margins. So yeah, I would make sure you understand your costs for all the SKUs that you have. A lot of businesses, use names as what the material is on their invoices, but I personally like to have SKUs that represent an exact specific product, right? So like imagine that it was, let's just say it was the Deary Super Stretch Direct Fire Crack Sealer. That would be a SKU. And PLS, like getting into like an oil jacketed material, that would be a separate SKU. That would be completely different. You wouldn't just say hot pour crack sealant, So just make sure you're naming your stuff properly, making sure that you have your costing in there, making sure that you have your margins all specifically stated. And I'd go with that. But I think the other thing to consider is, an Excel file to start is fine, but you're probably going to want to go into something like, whether you're using PavemanPro, for example, to be able to have all your contacts in there, your proposals, your costing, your scopes of work, and all that, and then tie that in with QuickBooks. You could do that, or whatever platform I don't care if you're using Jobber or whatever it is, but you definitely, there are platforms that you can use that are outside of the Excel file that will allow you to be a little bit more organized through a system that's been developed for you. In regards to, there's something interesting I want to talk to you about, to everybody about, is that one of the things that I recorded today, it was a video that I recorded, was around how being more successful in business is actually pretty easy if you were to focus on your conversion rate. And so your conversion rate is one that really is impacted by the way that you deliver problem solving value that the customer can emotionally connect to. And so an example would be a proposal that you put out. Is it unique and different than other people who put proposals out? So let's say that I'm writing an estimate proposal, and it's got the date and the time, and it's got all your proposal number, and then it goes into the actual scopes of work: seal coating, crack sealing, line striping, patching, whatever it is, right? The line items that you have, the scopes of work that you're naming, are absolutely crucial in grabbing the customer's attention to see the value, the true value in what it is that you're helping them with. So would you just put, three options, right? Like, would you just put seal coat or seal coating and then the price? Or would you put like contractor seal coating or sealer? And then, or would you put like contractor grade with a warranty that's next to it? What I'm getting at here is you want to name something. So it would be like, let's say for crack sealing, would you put crack filling as the one option? Or would you put asphalt crack sealing as the second option? Or would you put like crack sealing to create a watertight seal, preventing asphalt deterioration? I know it's long, but reasoning, right? They don't want it to deteriorate. So you say it, you hit the deterioration and costing money, right? You have to think about these things as you're putting them in your proposals. And it's not for me to necessarily tell you exactly what it is. Make it different, right? Be unique in what it is that you're setting up, and make sure that it has something that's impactful for your reader when they're reading that estimate. Make sure that it actually has a thing that goes, wow, it's three other estimates that we've got, or two other bids that we've got, say seal coating and then the price, but this guy's saying, industrial commercial grade seal coat designed to protect the asphalt surface. Cool. And then go into crack sealing, right? So think about that. Hopefully that's a good little tip. That video will be out shortly. But yeah, that's something important to think about. There's so many different pieces in business that you can you know, adjust and fine tune and tweak to make things better. That's the thing that's so cool in business, is that there's always such incredible things that you can do that really impact your success. And sorry for my voice. I'm drinking some honey with water. I've got strep throat, unfortunately, so I'm working through that. Working through it. Any other questions on here, or are we going to rock out? Come on, we've got a couple more questions. Bring it on. I know that certainly on our side, we are jamming. The phones are off the hook, the traffic's rocking, and there's a lot of people wanting to work together. It's a whole pay it forward opportunity where we're all kind of working together to make it better. And that's something so exciting, is that people are truly on this mission to help make this industry better. It's really cool to watch. Kevin, thank you. Go ahead with your question, my man. And we, and as that's happening too, like if you look at Adam Chapman, Joshua was on here earlier, Adam Chapman, who's out there pushing out great content and really helping people and trying to make, you know, trying to make people believe in themselves and really know that it's possible to go out and build your very own business and be successful with it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. There's a lot of, you know, hurdles and challenges as you're growing your business. But at the end of the day, when you're plugged into the resources and tools and everything else, then it's really it's good to be connected to all that and to scale and grow it. Kevin, that's great, man, that you manufacture driveway sealer and crack filler in Connecticut. That's awesome, my man. Would love to connect with you. That's very cool. Will, would you advertise seal coating with patchwork? For sure, I would. I mean, I would advertise a bunch of different things. I would advertise seal coating. I would advertise, and I'm talking independently. I would independently market seal coating. I would independently market crack sealing. I would independently market pothole repair. I would independently market line striping. And then I would market it all together as something that you also provide. I would, for sure. And I think that would be something that would allow you to rock and roll. I would definitely do that. All right. And Les, for repeat customers, is it better to follow up with them rather than waiting on them to contact you? Pretty tough to do unless you have a good contact list. Yeah, man, it's definitely something that you want to do. You don't want to wait for them to contact you. You want to definitely keep in touch. You know, it's your business, right? It's your business to keep in touch and be a lighthouse to people and continue that connection. And there's really cool platforms that you can use to keep in touch. Like, for example, HubSpot is a pretty darn cool program. It's a platform that allows you to really, you know, keep in touch and create automation, and you can schedule your emails. You can also do that with MailChimp too. There's a lot of different options, but HubSpot's a great solution. I would say to you, Les, the right thing is to make sure that it's not sucking all your time away to keep in touch with people on a repeat basis. You want to definitely have more automation tied into that so that you can schedule that from a platform or system where, you know, you go into the contact lead, for example, the contact profile, and you can actually set an email to send to them on a certain date. All right. Tim, I hear a lot of people in the business up in arms about the price increases. Please explain that now is the time to raise our prices and get what we deserve to make this a great business. Tim, that is such an incredible piece of advice, man. I really hope that everybody can like screenshot this right here and read it, because let me explain. Everybody's like, well, not everybody, a lot of people are panicking about the price increases. And you don't need to panic. We are in such an incredible niche in the pavement maintenance industry. It's recession resistant. It's pandemic resistant. People are generally not doing huge capital projects right now. They're focusing on asphalt maintenance to protect and prolong the life of the pavement assets. And they're trying to enhance the aesthetic value of the property for the least amount of money possible. Paving is much more expensive. Asphalt maintenance is less expensive. We're in that niche of asphalt maintenance. So when we think about pricing, even if your costs go up on materials by 20%, you can raise your price accordingly to make sure that your margin is fat and healthy. It's going to be happening industry-wide, or people will be going out of business. There's just no doubt. And make sure that you explain to your team that this is something that's happening everywhere. It's happening in the paving world. I mean, asphalt was up $20 a ton the other day. I mean, it's going to happen, right? Raw materials and transport and everything else are impacting all of this. So I think, Tim, you have such a great piece of advice there, man. Thank you. Les, do you recommend rewards for referrals? How much? It's interesting as it relates to rewards. So let's say that I do a job for Tom Jones, and Tom Jones, is happy with his job. I can generally ask Tom Jones if he knows 3 people that would be interested in having me do asphalt maintenance for them. And Tom Jones will generally give me the 3 referrals. I don't really need to pay him. What you need to do is you need to do a really good job for him and really over deliver on the value. Set expectations and provide, blowing out of the water expectations or fulfillment on it. So if his expectations are that you're going to seal coat his driveway and repair the cracks, well, those are the expectations you build. But cleaning up the street and making sure that there's a nice ribbon at the end of it, caution tape, make sure that you have the grass fully trimmed back on the edges, make sure there's not sealer splattered on things, and make sure that he's happy with the job. And if he's happy with the job, he's definitely gonna definitely give you those referrals. So I wouldn't pay anybody those referrals. Now, if you have salespeople that are wanting to go out and make money, I'd pay sales guys 20% all day long. That's what I would pay. That's what I did pay for years. Mark, you're very welcome for the information, man. Heading into your 2nd season, yeah, man, crush it, dude. Crush it. I remember what it was like going into my 2nd season, and I actually remember my first season going out and doing the very first driveway with a spray system, and man, oh man, the feeling was wild. It was wild. It was like, I remember doing the driveway, getting paid $250 for like a 400 square foot driveway, getting the $250 and being like, I think I could do like 16 of these in a day. And we started doing 16 a day. And then we added another truck and another truck and another truck, and ended up with a C30 dump truck and an asphalt zipper and doing extensions and everything. But yeah, man, you're on an incredible journey ahead. I'd love to connect with you and chat about that, man. Les, about automation, man. Absolutely, it comes with growth and working on the business, for sure. Working on it. Yep. Google Sheets are great, guys. They work fantastic for a period of time, but you don't want to be spending all your time doing data entry for too long, if you know what I mean. Also on Odesk and Upwork and Fiverr, you can also hire virtual assistants that are there that are really, really reasonably priced for you. You don't need somebody maybe full time, but you might need somebody to do your data entry for you for 4 hours a day or something. It might cost you, let's say, $40 a day or something, but at least you're getting your stuff in, and you can spend your time maybe with your family doing stuff that you or stuff that you love. Maybe that you might have a hobby. Maybe you want to go fishing. Maybe you want to go kite surfing or something. But yeah, definitely, time is of the essence, everyone. So you want to make the most out of that. And right now, when I hear that the phones are already ringing right now in Ohio, and it's still snowing. Yeah, that's the season right now. Phones are ringing everywhere, and some places it's snowing, some places it's not, and we continue to really see this industry thrive. The only people I see deterring other people from getting into the business are generally the grumpy people that are speaking about how how the industry is changing for the worst and everything. I just, how is it changing for the worst? We're in a pandemic resistant and recession resistant industry, and asphalt is absolutely everywhere. And if you actually knew how to market, or you took the time to learn it on YouTube and you just spent some time learning about marketing, so that the face of your business looked awesome on all angles, and you were able to have a voice for your business there, you could speak fluently the actual language of solving problems and delivering value to people, then all of a sudden you wouldn't be so grumpy. And so for everybody on right here, the face of your business, the voice of your business, being professional and doing your job really, really, really well. And when you're struggling with a challenge or you have some adversity, don't sit there and be in a fetal position for too long. Stand up, puff your chest up, and power forward, and don't really worry about the little shit things that might arise in your business. You know, work through them, be accountable, and you know, don't throw in the towel over stupid shit. Let's roll. You bought a 700-gallon spray system on your first job was an apron. That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, the question I have for everybody is, who's going after the dealerships? Who's going after the hotels? Who's going after the gas stations? Who's going after car washes? Who's going after churches? Who's going after golf courses? Who's going after, and just endless, you know, endless. And so when you're starting out, you might be doing some residential work, 400, 500, 600,000 square foot driveways, but don't stay there too long. Don't stay there too long. Don't only stay in there. That's like being in a hamster wheel. You know, people who are driving in traffic right now from 9 to 5 to go sit in a cubicle, that's sitting in a hamster wheel. Break out of that, you know. If you're really wanting to create exponential success for yourself, what you need to do is you need to explore outside the hamster wheel. And you need to go after things that are much bigger. Because I'll tell you, I've done this. I've closed a $170,000 job. I know the video says $160,000 on YouTube. How I closed a $160,000 job. It was a $170,000 job. Took me 2 days to close it. And it could have been enough for me to live for a year reasonably. Instead, I went after a lot more. But I just want you to know it's possible. You just have to go and hunt it. You got to put your hat on, camo hat, and you got to go hunt that business. Make sure the face of your business, the voice of your business, and go hunt. Let's go. Kevin, Judd, have you heard that there's going to be shortages obtaining sealer? Yeah, I was speaking about that a little bit earlier, Kevin. Yeah, coal tar mid season. We're gonna have coal tar shortages, I do believe. Yeah, asphalt emulsion will be fine. Mista, thanks. Yeah, listen, it is what it is. I mean, like, we either sit around and we watch this stuff and then we do nothing about it, or we actually go from here and we go and crush it. Like tomorrow morning, I want to go crush it. I want to hear all about, I want people to comment down below about how they crushed it. I want you to send me an email about how you crushed it, and how this hopefully influenced you to go out and hunt something bigger and better in your life. You know, it's good to feel comfortable. It's good to feel comfortable for a little bit, but I wouldn't be sitting here if I was just comfortable. I push every single day as hard as I can, and it's all in us. We just have to go do it. Joey used to sell Kirby vacuums for years, just getting into asphalt and seal coat game. Do you have some advice on selling driveways door to door? Yeah, I do. I have an old video that's on YouTube that's selling door to door. It's a pretty funny one, actually, but yeah, maybe my team can pop it in there. It's door-to-door sales, Asphalt Kingdom. If you Google that, it'll pop up. But there's like kind of a role play. It's actually, believe it or not, it was my father in that video when I was first starting out with Asphalt Kingdom. It was like I was like a year and a bit into building Asphalt Kingdom, and it was with my dad. But yeah, it was a ball, man. Door-to-door sales. Yeah, I mean, just be cautious about how close you get to the door. Make sure that you have a solicitation permit if you're allowed to solicit. A lot of places you're not allowed to solicit, but make sure you step away from the door. Make sure that you're dressed properly and branded. Make sure that sorry, I'm losing my voice here. Make sure that you're branded well. Make sure you have a door hanger. Make sure that you have, when I say door hanger, like a flyer door hanger, and make sure you have proper documentation with you. Make sure you have an iPad that you can show before and after pictures, or maybe a 30-second clip of how you do the driveways, right? So you clean them, you seal coat, you crack seal it, you seal coat it, and show them the kind of the process in a quick 30-second window. If you sold Kirby vacuums for years and you're getting into the seal coating game, you're going to do just great, Joey. Yeah, selling Kirby's, I have buddies who did that, and you need to be able to definitely present some great value there for sure. For crack sealing, you generally charge about $1 a foot. A lot of people are going up to $1.25, $1.50 a foot right now. It's pretty interesting to see how fast that's going. Will Robbie, how to do a good job, spread a low spray rate at a car a lot to avoid overspray. Do you sell a system like that so you can change? Yeah, we do. We like our Airboss 300, for example. You can definitely cut down the pressure on that machine significantly, but I would never spray around cars in a parking lot. You definitely want to get those cars out of there. Otherwise, you need to do a lot of independent brushing around that far enough, because any kind of wind will spray cars. Last thing you want to do is leave a job that's in a unhealthy state where cars are sprayed. You know, if you have overspray on buildings, cars, curbs, flagstone walkways, I don't care what it's on, you're going to spend a day at least cleaning that crap up. So just, you know, it's kind of like hold, wait until the cars are moved out, wait till it's not too windy, do a good job, and then win. You know what I mean? All right, let's go in, guys. We've got about 4 minutes left, and then I'm going to go spend some time with my wife, and my throat's just killing me. I've got strep here. I was told by Coppers RT12 was sold out all of 2022. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. Coal tar will have shortages, but asphalt emulsions and alternatives are going to be fine. We are very, very fine with sealer for this season. So no issue there for both Canada and the United States. McBucket's 36, with gas prices going up, how would you balance the cost of high fuel with company costs? It's a great question. You really need to identify what your operating costs are, and a lot of people have a hard time doing that in one day because they can vary. Example, your truck could be filled with fuel today, but it's not fueled for, you know, it's going to run out of fuel in 3 or 4 days, whatever it is. You want to make sure that you're doing this over a monthly basis. You can break it down weekly, but you want to understand the main operating costs, fixed and variable, for your company. It's very, very important. And then based upon that, you're going to need to be able to understand what your forecasted revenue is going to be for the company, your forecasted sales. And then you can go ahead and deduct your cost of goods, your COGs, by your variable and fixed stuff, and then ultimately determine how much money you're going to be making. You know, so balancing the cost with high fuel with company costs, I would just say straight up, really understand what that all is, and then understand where you need to be from a square footage price perspective, as well as crack sealer and striping and any other services that you provide. We're all on, if your costs every month are $8,000 and your revenue is $12,000, well, you made $4,000, right? Obviously that's not exciting. That's what I call hamster wheel, but that's an example, right? Make sure that you understand that. And I dig deep into that. Like, take some time on a Google sheet, break it all down, really identify what it's costing you to go out and do run your business. All right. One last question. Anybody? One last question. By the way, I'm giving away 1 year of PavemanPro for free. It's $500 value. 1 year. It's going to be a draw. And if you just hashtag Sealcoating in the comments, then I'm going to go ahead and give it away to one person. $500 value, 1 year of access to PavemanPro. So hashtag Sealcoating in the comments right now, and I'll go ahead and get a draw done by, it's Monday today. I'll do a draw by Friday. So by Friday, I will do the draw for the PavemanPro 1 year subscription. On the 11th, I will do it on the 11th. All right, on the 11th of March. So go ahead, rock on with that. Will, you're very welcome, man. Happy to help. Very welcome, Les. And sorry guys, my throat's been just terrible for a better part of a week now, but it's drinking crazy apple cider vinegar, honey, and hot waters what the doc told me. So there I am. Guys, hashtag seal coating in the comments. Get 1 year free access to PavemanPro, $500 value. Drop it in there. I want somebody to win it, and I want to work with that person on making sure that PavemanPro helps to organize their business and really, it has all the map and measure systems in there. It shows when customers are opening the proposals. It's badass, and hundreds of thousands of dollars were invested into that platform so that you guys can win. Looking forward to it, and have a beautiful, beautiful night and rest of the week and season coming up. Looking forward to connecting. AK Roundtable tomorrow, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. every Wednesday, AK Roundtable. See you there.